And I thought to myself, why did I waste my 3 months? FundedNext is, I think, my first prop firm. The best thing which stands out compared to other prop firms is no doubt it's the customer service.
Hello, Mr. Zain. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm also doing fine. Thank you for asking. So, before we start this interview, why don't you just introduce yourself to our audience?
All right. So, as you know, my name is Zain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently still a student studying in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to trading around January, February 2021.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine basically introduced me to cryptocurrencies,
Mm-hmm.
and I at that time I had just finished my bachelor's, and there was a lockdown, and yeah, if you remember, there was COVID, and things were like everything was mostly closed, even traveling and everything. So after finishing my bachelor's, I
Mm-hmm.
was introduced to crypto. I started with a small account, and soon I realized that you need to understand this field in order to pursue it. You cannot just buy and sell and follow people's signals and stuff. You need to learn. Yeah.
All right. So, you started trading in 2021 during January, February, and you started your trading journey
Yes.
with crypto.
Yeah.
All right. Then what happened?
So my story is pretty interesting. I started with $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
and the first 3 months at that time, everything was going up. Everything. You just needed to buy,
Mm-hmm.
and after a few days you check it's up, you sell. And so my first 3 months I turned that 2000 into 3500 in my first 3 months. I was very confident. I thought to myself that I don't need to do anything, I'm just gonna trade this, and I'm making so much money, it's so easy. And one day, the crypto market, Bitcoin, it crashed from 43K to 30K, I think, in a matter of seconds. I was at 3,500 on my account from 2,000, and my account dropped back to 2,000. And I had to exit my trade because I was panicking. I never saw this before. I was new. And so after 3 months, basically from 1,500 profit, I came back to break even after 3 months. And I thought to myself, why did I waste my 3 months? Then I realized that, okay, I need to learn now. It's not as easy as I thought.
So, currently, are you a part time trader or a full time trader?
You can say I'm a mix. Right now, I'm trading full time because I'm on vacation till January,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still studying. I'm doing my postgraduate. And so once college starts again, I'll be part-time trading and part-time studying. Right now, you can say I'm a full-time trader right now.
All right. So, you used to trade crypto. What are the
Yeah.
pairs or instruments that you are trading right now?
Right now, I'm mostly interested in the three indices, which are SPX, Nasdaq, and
Mm-hmm.
Dow Jones. I trade forex as well. Forex, I don't have a specific. I don't prefer a specific pair. It's just that I determine my daily bias, what the
Mm-hmm.
daily candle is going to do next, and sometimes it's much clearer on some pairs than others.
Mm-hmm.
So the clear pairs in forex, I prefer to trade those. It it could be anything. It could be Euro USD, Odd USD, CAD CAD CHF, anything.
Mm-hmm.
The pair that shows me a clear bias is what I'm going to trade. Other than that, I'm interested in US 30, SPX, and NASDAQ.
All right. So, which session do you prefer to trade the most?
My favorite session is the London session, but I trade New York as well. But London is my favorite because if you have a clear bias, if you have a clear bullish or bearish bias, you know where the market is reaching for.
Mm-hmm.
Then London session most of the times sets the low or high of the day. So that's why I prefer London.
All right. So you started your trading in 2021 in January, February. So what
Mm.
actually made you interested to join a prop firm?
Basically, around last year,
Hmm.
as you know, most of the traders go through this. Uh, it's a thing called blowing up accounts.
Yeah.
So basically, I blew my account, and then I had to start over. I switched through multiple strategies since I started.
Hmm.
I got introduced to risk management early enough to save myself from a lot of disasters, but still, I ended up blowing my account, and then I started researching about prop firms. I
Hmm.
went through many, but somehow FundedNext attracted me the most. So that's how I got into FundedNext is, I think, my first prop firm,
Hmm.
and I don't think I'm gonna switch because everything is pretty good. I researched a lot on other firms as well, and I see that you guys continuously take steps to improvement, and you listen to traders. For example, the minimum requirement was 10 days first, now it's
Yeah.
5, and even other things. You constantly update things and make it easier for us. So yeah.
Just 30 minutes ago, we actually introduced another update,
Yeah,
which
I
is
saw
a
on
14-day
Twitter
extension.
14 days. Yeah, if you're up more than 5%, you can get 14 days
Yeah.
extension. That's good too.
So what actually made you, what's the thing you like most about Funded Next?
The best thing which stands out compared to other prop firms is no doubt it's the customer service.
Hmm.
Any problem you have, anything, you can contact your account manager.
Hmm.
If he's not on duty, it's out of his timing, you can go directly to the website and you can talk to customer support. Anything you have, most of the problems they're able to solve at that moment, at that very moment. So it's pretty good compared to other firms. I've seen that a lot of firms don't reply, take 2 3 days to reply, but here everything is pretty quick. So
All
that's
right.
what stands out most for me. And another thing which uh, other people like is, what attracts them is that 15% share from the starting. So that,
Yeah, that's the thing we hear a lot.
yeah, I'm sure.
All right. So, so you have been with us for a while now, and you've got
Mm.
a hefty amount of payout with us. So, if
Mm.
you don't mind me asking, how old are you,
I'm 23 years old.
and how much payout did you get with us?
I think the best one is the $20,000.
All right.
Uh,
So,
2023. I'm not sure how much it was exactly, but it was above 20.
would you mind sharing your dashboard with us?
Yeah, sure. I'll share my screen now. This is my dashboard. This is the one I was talking about, the payout.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see I traded only 12 days for that month. Uh, these were my results. It's we go into the stats. The stats don't look pretty, but the result was pretty.
As long as it makes money.
Yeah, as long as you know what you're doing, your
Yeah,
risk is managed.
exactly.
So my win rate, you can see it was not so good,
Mm-hmm.
37%. But if you see my winning and losing trades, uh, the average risk to reward, you can say it was 2.53.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, you only need 3 4 wins out of 10 to be a profitable trader,
Exactly.
and that's what exactly happened. It was a pretty good month for me. I think things were pretty easier. Some months are easier, some months are not so easy, but you can make the most of it when you know it's an easy month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as we've gone through your dashboard, could you please share your trading strategy with us as well?
All right, sure. So I'm sure I'm not going to be able to uh, completely cover it, but I'll try my best to make
Sure.
things simple. And let's see. First, I'll go into Nasdaq. We'll take a look at the last sort of week or couple of days.
Can you kindly
Base,
just turn your
yeah.
currency pair list off?
Uh, Hold on.
Just click. Yeah, yeah. Just click there. Yeah,
This,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hold
Perfect.
on. Yeah. All right. So there are quite a few things we need to keep in mind before I start.
Mm-hmm.
One thing is what I believe, what I have come to believe after trying out so many strategies and methods is
Mm-hmm.
there are two reasons why the market moves. That is my opinion and my belief.
Mm-hmm.
Others have other methods and other things. Basically, what I believe is either market is going for stop losses for liquidity,
Mm-hmm.
either the market is moving towards that, or it's rebalancing itself. By rebalancing, I mean is when a market moves in a certain direction
Mm-hmm.
very quickly, it tends to leave imbalances behind. And we can expect market to retrace back into those imbalances and continue up or whatever direction that is. So basically, either it's going for liquidity
Mm-hmm.
or it's coming back to fill imbalances. Like in this case, you can see I have I don't use indicators, but this is even if I don't have this indicator on, I know what an imbalance is. This is just for my eyes to identify them quickly. So basically, you can see Nasdaq. I had a bullish bias.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for this level, uh, this exact level, 11,676, to be
Mm-hmm.
taken out the last few days. And you can see in between, we had some big moves, and this was an imbalance. So if I mark this out, either it goes for an imbalance or it
Mm-hmm.
goes for liquidity. So now I know in advance that it's going for this level, 11,674. And here I was given an opportunity to enter on this imbalance. And then we gradually moved towards liquidity. So this happens almost every day. You just need to identify where the market is going next, and that's it. You can catch a lot of the times you can catch the London low, or
Mm-hmm.
even New York sometimes puts in the low or high. So you can plan accordingly and then trade. If I look at what day was it? On Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This was the London session, 2 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
This specific area, I'll mark that out in a different color. Hold on. So this time, 2 to 5 was my London session. Now, what happened here is this was my target, 11,674. During London, what happened is we already hit that target. And once we grab certain liquidities,
Mm-hmm.
I wait for my setup to show up. My analysis starts from the daily. I determine where the market is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I dive into the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute time frames to hunt for my setup. What my setup basically is that I wait for liquidity to be grabbed or an imbalance to be filled, and then I wait for breaks of structure with
Mm-hmm.
imbalances on smaller time frames. In this example, you can see 11,676 was my target, and it was a major liquidity zone. A lot of stop losses were above it. Once London session started, you can see we took liquidity straight away. In fact, before London session, we took liquidity. So here I
Yeah.
was hunting for a small short setup. It was against my bias since I was still bullish and still looking for upward movement. But since we took major liquidity, I was looking for a small retracement. So I waited for my setup. Here you can see we had this break of structure on the 1 minute time frame.
Hmm.
This break of structure. And if I go into the 2 minute, 3 minute, we'll see that. Yeah. So basically we had this break of structure and imbalances. How to explain? I'll open up Google for that. It will make it easier for the audience. FET. Yeah. So basically, what an imbalance is missing price action. Like you can see in these two photos, there is the previous candle and the next candle. There is a gap between, right?
Yeah.
Even in the bullish one, there is a gap between. So these gaps are called fair value gaps or imbalances, right? So basically, once we broke structure, we took major liquidity,
Hmm.
and now we broke structure. You can see here I found an imbalance. This was an imbalance on the 2 minute time frame. This green box. These imbalances are my entries, and the swing highs or lows are basically my stop losses. What I target is the next major liquidity. Here, why I targeted this is you can see these are pretty much equal lows,
Yeah.
which means that price came here, people bought, it went up, they placed their stop loss here. It came again, they considered this as a support, they bought again, placed their stop losses here. Now, when I'm shorting, I know that they're placing their stop losses all below here. This is what I targeted. And the same day, since my bias was bullish, I was also waiting for long setups in the New York session. Here, if you remember, I marked out that hourly FVG,
Yeah.
which I said I got an entry on, right? This
Yeah.
one. So just as we tapped this FVG, it was New York session. It was perfect timing. Here again, you can see I was bullish, and what we got here is that we tapped into that imbalance, that old imbalance on
Hmm.
hourly, and then we broke structure again. We broke structure. What did we create? We created another imbalance here. That was the entry, stop below the low, and you're basically targeting the highs. What were the highs? These were the highs. So yeah, this happens almost every day. The important thing is determining your bias. I cannot completely explain on this video itself how to determine bias, but you're basically looking for either liquidity or either you're looking for price to rebalance itself. These trades, one of them was 1.96 risk to reward, one
Nice.
of them was 1.63, but you get different amount of. It's not a fixed risk to reward. You can get anywhere from 1 to 2 to 1 to 10.
Yeah.
If I must have an old example here as well. Would be here. I'll, I'll show you what I mean with the replay button. So here again, as I said, 2 3 days, last 2 3 days, I was bullish. I was looking for that level which I talked about. Now, as you can see, this is the London session. This 2 to 5 a.m. New York time. I am bullish. I'm waiting for a structure break
Hmm.
with an imbalance. Here you can see, you can argue that we sort of almost broke structure, but we don't have any imbalances. We want the move to be basically a lethargic move or an impulsive move. It should be quick. You want to let the market show you that it really wants to move in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened is, let me forward it. This this is what I'm talking about. You see this candle, and you know that the market wants to do something. We created an imbalance here,
Hmm.
and this was my exact entry, my stop loss below. I was bullish for the day. You can see these highs. These were what I'm targeting.
Yeah.
Uh, 4.01 rest to reward. So you can say 1 to 4, which is pretty good.
Hmm.
And let's see what happened next.
That's
It
amazing.
took its time, and yeah. So it happens almost every London session, every New York session. Even if we talk about now, I didn't look at the charts right now. London just started, but I'm pretty sure there's something going up.
So if I simply summarize your strategy, you were mostly trading indices, which is Nasdaq,
Hmm.
Nasdaq, US 30, and US 500, I suppose. So
Yeah,
you were trading all these things, and you were basically the the thing that you shared one interesting thing, which is you think there are two things that actually moves the market:
yeah,
the fair value gaps and the liquidity, because the market will always feel the imbalances, and the market will always hunt for liquidity, these two things.
yeah,
And you are
yeah,
mostly trading based on these two things actually. And you are
yeah.
determining your bias with the daily time frame.
Yes,
If the market
daily,
is bullish,
weekly depends.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the higher time frame, then you are defining your bias in the lower time frames. Am I correct?
yes.
All right.
I'm determining my bias on higher time frames, and then I'm looking for setups on lower time frames.
All right. So when you were determining your bias from the daily time frame, there are times in which you get the liquidity gets swiped from both the buy side and the sell side. So
Yes.
how do you determine your bias then?
On the bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
you just there are some times when things are unclear,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes things are very clear. Like this 11,600, 11,700 level was pretty clear for me
Mm-hmm.
since last week. In between, every day, there's going to be liquidity sweeps to the upside, to the downside. The main thing is I'm focused on where price is reaching for. So what, like if we do a liquidity sweep from the downside,
Mm-hmm.
that is my ideal scenario because I'm on the bigger picture, I'm bullish. Doesn't mean I'm not going to short it. I will short it when I get an opportunity. But when I'm going with my bias, I'm more comfortable in taking the trades. And even then, you can have liquidity sweeps to both sides. But what I would prefer is a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction of my bias. So then I can
Exactly.
join the direction here.
All right. That was really amazing to hear these
Thank you.
explanations from you, and I think your concept is mostly based on smart money.
Yeah.
These are kind
Yeah.
of smart money concepts. So, what are the other things you look for while executing a trade? Do you look into news, or do you look into how the currency index or anything?
I look at news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, honestly, I'm a more technical trader than a fundamental one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter to me what the news is. Is it
Mm-hmm.
positive or negative? Of course, it has an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, what I've seen is I have a bias, and what news does when I have a clear bias, what news does is basically just accelerates the move. The news
Exactly.
just makes it more volatile. But the direction is most of the time I can say because I've been doing this every day since years, every day in and out. And even this strategy, I think it's been 5 months since I've been using it, but I've tested a lot of data, back testing, just like I showed you by replaying.
Mm-hmm.
I've back tested every possible data there is to determine these things. So yeah,
All right. So, has your psychology ever affected your trading plan?
all the time. Even right now, I cannot say my trading psychology is perfect. Even the most experienced traders are still learning psychology every day. I think having a strategy is not that hard. Everyone seems to find a strategy. There are a lot of strategies over YouTube, over the internet. The hardest part about trading is psychology itself. Even if you have a plan and you have a strategy, your psychology can really hinder your performance. And it happens to me as well still.
So, what are the steps that you have taken to just be a disciplined trader?
I did not journal my trades before.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I started journaling them. They are really helpful because in trading, it's about habits. If you build bad habits, you're gonna keep blowing your account. You're gonna keep following those bad habits until you change them. Once you change them to good habits, then you need to hold on to the good habits and you'll start getting consistent. So you need to work on your habits. Management is really important because if, for example, instead of 1%, half a percent, you risk 5% on a trade, even if you're right, if there is volatility in the market and you're risking more than you can afford,
Mm-hmm.
it's really emotionally going to impact you.
Exactly.
Even if the trade is going in your favor or it is about to go in your favor, you'll just keep watching the screen 24/7. You'll even increase your stress levels because you're risking more than you can afford. You always need to risk what you think is viable and what you can afford on a daily basis. And this is where FundedNext and other prop firms come into play. These firms really help a person become a disciplined trader. On your own account, you can slip. You can, let's say you have a 5% limit daily, right? On your own account.
Hmm.
You go to 5%, but sometimes you can be so frustrated and angry, and this happens to everyone. You end up over trading. Instead of 5 on a personal account, you can lose 10-15% if you're not in control. But with prop firms, you have a limit. You cannot go above it. You know, if you do, you're gonna lose your account. You're gonna do your challenge again. So yeah, it makes us more disciplined. These rules.
All right. Talking about disciplines, do you have any advice for all the traders around the globe?
My advice would be you need few things to be successful, right? And one of them is your strategy. So you need to find a strategy first. You also second, you can't say in order, but these are the important things. Next, you need is risk management. It's really important. I'm lucky that in my early stages, I found some people
Mm-hmm.
who worked on my psychology and risk management. I told you after 3 months when I came back to break even, I
Mm-hmm.
started studying, right? So I was lucky that I came up. I found some people. I found a group basically. Can I take the guy's name?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So basically, there's a Facebook group called the Market Wizards. I am part of it, but I don't really use it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this guy. He's also a Pakistani guy like me, Haris Khan. He does good things for the community. He's a trader himself, and he made courses on Udemy and everything for mostly the Pakistani community.
Mm-hmm.
So he introduced me to risk management, and I think it saved me quite a lot of money to be to know about risk management because without it, I don't think anyone can survive in this industry. It's like having a life jacket. If you know how to swim or don't know how to swim, that life jacket is still at some point going to save you.
Exactly.
Risk management is exactly like that life jacket. If you don't have it on, you if you don't know how to swim, you can always have the risk of drowning.
Exactly. Do you have any? Do you want to say anything to the Funded Next team?
Sorry, can you repeat? I
Yeah. Do you want to say
misheard.
anything to the Funded Next team?
Um, I uh, I have a lot of good things to say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Keep up the customer support, and I know a good company when I see them. I can see a lot of potential in this company because you guys uh, hear feedback and you guys constantly are bringing new things that are putting you ahead of the competition. So keep doing that, and keep listening to traders, because not only does it help us, but it will help you guys a lot in becoming hopefully the number one firm in the industry. This is the, I think this is the only thing that will separate you from the other companies. And
We are always trying our level best to actually serve you better every single day. And traders like you are our motivation, because at the end of the day, we profit when you guys profit, and we're trying our best, and we're actually taking a lot of initiatives, and you're gonna hear some pretty good news
yeah,
in the upcoming months as well. So yeah, we are trying our best, and just wish for us, just uh, wish best of luck to us so that we can do so.
I'm 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 me, and I have a community of a few hundred people, 600, 700. They all know that because my experience has been so good with FundedNext. They know that when they start doing these funded accounts, they're gonna come to FundedNext, because they I I update my biases and my trades daily on this specific community, and they know, they even before this video they knew that I had received my payout from FundedNext. So they've already heard a lot of good things. And I'm sure if anyone comes up to me and asks me about what prop firm they need to use, and they would what prop firm would suit them, I think my answer will always be FundedNext. Definitely.
Thank you for your vote of confidence. Means a lot. All right. So, thank you, Mr. Zain, for your time, and it was really nice talking to you. We're hoping to
Thank
disburse
you.
you
Thank
a hefty amount of profits in the upcoming months, and we are also hoping to interview you once again in the upcoming months. So, best of luck to you and to your future. So, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank
Goodbye.
you to you and your company too, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Goodbye. We just interviewed one of our most successful traders who got $23,000 payout from us. So, until next video, stay safe and take care.